your finances. Jimmy, you already know your finance guy. If the finances ain't right,
Yeah.
everything is in shambles. Then you talk about your physical. One thing we always want to do is take care of our health physically.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talking about it's June, it's Men's Health Month. Now is an opportunity to take care of your health.
What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the By the Hood podcast, or webcast, because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every episode, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to all of our students out there from By the Hood University, as well as our MDC private group. All of the youth from the By the Hood ownership camp. Want to say shout out to you guys as well. This is our podcast platform. Corey is not here with me today, but I do have a special guest. And I do want to mention this. We've been talking recently about why we changed our podcast format because, it's just too many people out there doing bad by our people, scamming and all the like. But this brother that I have on today, I can vouch for. And the reason I can vouch for him is I've been out in the streets. I've seen his work. He's doing tremendous work. Let me make sure I introduce him correctly. All right, so he's a motivational speaker. He's a mental health and prison reform advocate. He's the former director of partnership with Black Men Heal. But he's also responsible for coordinating this specific event we have coming up in Atlantic City in a couple weeks called the Black Excellence Festival. And I want to bring him on to talk specifically about the festival, what we can look forward to, and just the work that he's doing in the community because it's for our people and it's very powerful. So without further ado, man, I want to welcome back our brother, Douglas Reed. Doug, how are you, good brother?
What's up, Jimmy? What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, listen, as you would say, man, let's go, right? So listen, you've done tremendous work, with our folks, and I want to bring you on specifically to talk about the festival, right? So you invited me out to the festival to be a part of a panel, and I'm gracious and thankful for the opportunity. But I want to talk about the festival overall. Like, what's the idea behind the festival? What are you looking to accomplish? So, tell us a little bit about the Black Excellence Festival. What is it? And
Well, first, Jimmy, I really have to say thank you for actually inviting me. And just the amazing work as far as By the Hood, what you guys are doing. I watch you guys over the years and actually even now, and everything you're doing, the entrepreneurship, the classes, so appreciative of all your work. And we'll talk about even that's why I wanted you on the panel. But the Black Excellence Festival, just to let you know, it's going to be June the 16th through the 18th in Atlantic City, New Jersey, at the Showboat Hotel. And it's the Father's Day Juneteenth weekend. So just to give you a little specifics about the festival, it's about Black excellence. It's a positive impact on Black America, providing the tools, resources to navigate and address, even the issues that we have in our communities. And just to give you a little backdrop, even where it's being held at Atlantic City, at one time, Atlantic City was a segregated beach. It was only for Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was only for Blacks. Now I'm going to say
the Chicken Bone, right?
The Chicken Bone Beach. So even with that little bit of history, now we're talking about Blacks. We're talking about an opportunity for vendors to come in during the festival at the Showboat Convention Center, which is very new. They have an opportunity to sell their goods, once again, promoting Black excellence. Then we're talking about, we got entertainment. Now you have some of the top known DJs on this side of the East Coast. You talking about house music. If you go back, house music was very popular, especially in the Northeast. But it's been kind of, we kind of got away from it. Of course, with rap and hip hop, like we love it. But now we're bringing house music. There's going to be house music. There's going to be R&B. There's going to be panels. There's going to be film festival. So there's so many different things that's going on promoting Black excellence.
Yeah, I see that you got like a comedy show as well. You got a praise fest going on. So one of the things I want to give you credit for is your work here, but also your previous work with Black Men Heal is you create spaces specifically for our people. And I think that's important for us to have our own spaces where we can come all positive and just, share energy, have conversations, and, looking at everything you have coming up with this is another space for our people. So I want to get your perspective on that. How important is it for us to have our spaces?
You know what? It's very important. I mean, one of the things we've seen over the years, and what how our Black communities have been affected. But I think through the internet and social media, we see it firsthand. Like we've been creating Black history for a long time. Now we're actually able to see Black history being created. So now when you see that, now we talking about community, we talking about our culture. Now if I can even talk about we got the big Essence Festival that's going on. That the Black Excellence Festival is like a miniature part of that. You got the Roots Picnic that's getting ready to go down uh, actually this weekend. So you talking about an opportunity for Blacks to come. You talk about me creating space, but for Blacks to come into these festivals, these spaces, and feel safe.
Hmm.
That's been one of the things that's been happening in our community. We've never been able to be safe without any problems. Roots Picnic been going on for a lot of years, but like Excellence Festival, there's not been any problems. So there's an opportunity for us, uh, of course, to feel safe, bring our families, and of course, have a good time.
Yeah. And one of the things you were talking about earlier, you were talking, you were talking about these 8 pillars, right?
Mhm.
And what they mean to you. Can you explain to the audience what the 8 pillars mean and why we're going to have this conversation at the festival?
Yeah, one of the things that I always talk about, I'll talk about more now, something called the 8 dimensions of wellness. Now we talking about our well-being. So what areas of wellness do we cover? It's called the 8 dimensions of wellness, which includes your finances. Jimmy, you already know you're a finance guy. If the finances ain't right,
Yeah.
everything is in shambles. Then you talk about your physical. One thing we always want to do is take care of our health physically.
Hmm.
Everybody talking about it's June, it's Men's Health Month. Now's the opportunity to take care of your health. Now we're talking about your spiritual. Got to have a foundation spiritually. No matter
Hmm.
who you believe the creator is, there is a creator that created this world. So spiritually, you have to be sound. Then you got to talk about your social. Social media took it to a certain effect. Like internet is too much, but what about when we go out and touch people? When we
Hmm.
go out to our communities, we socialize. We talk about your intellect, having the opportunity to go to the by the hood, um, you know,
Hmm.
listen to the podcast, your intellect, start
Yeah.
reading books for your intellect. Then we talk about emotion. Emotional deals with your mental, how you're feeling, of course. And then we're talking about your environmental. A lot of times you got to get out and see your surroundings. A lot of times you don't hear so much now, but you're talking about going green, or you talking about just going out and enjoy nature for what it brings, what the
Yeah.
God created, and then, of course, and then we're talking about what I'm missing one. Not your intellect, and then we're talking about your occupation. We're talking
Okay.
about we're talking about your job. I
Hmm.
mean, are you happy at your job? Job when you're actually working in a position that you're happy doing your work, that
Hmm.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Man, I told you I'm retired now. You know,
Hmm.
but now I'm really trying to operate in the gift that God actually gave me. You know,
Yeah, man. That's powerful stuff right there, man. Because that's life changing when you can work and find your purpose, right? Because it's not really about money at all. It's about feeling as though you're contributing to something greater than you. Um, I also know that you speak a lot about prison reform, right? Prison reform. I just want you to talk briefly about um, your work with prison reform.
you know what it is with prison reform. Like I retired out of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Like I'm be honest, like working in the prison is not where a 18-year-old kid thought that he was going to go to. Uh,
Hmm.
we're coming out of the military, and of course, something that one of your colleagues talk about. The thing that really drives me is when we talk about the crack law. We talk about that, and all this is related because we're talking about so many black men and women being removed off the streets during the 1986 crack law. So that's where it comes. And it's more information is going to come out because now we got to start educating our people. Now those people are coming out for second chances, the opportunity to go back to work. We're talking about them being hired, not being able, not having to check off the check mark. Because what happens is guys and women and men have been incarcerated for years, based on this. Of course, we all have made mistakes, but let's not hold those mistakes that'll affect them a lifetime. We want them to come out here, be citizens like they were before. They have the training, they have the skill set. So that's where, as far as my push where it comes in regards to prison reform, because the crack law really affected our communities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, what you talked about is something that we talk about all the time, how all these things are tied together. The finance, the politics, the education, the food deserts. It's one is all everything is connected. So we have to recognize that as we go out to do our work, how all these things affect each other. So with this Black Excellence Festival, what are you looking to build long term, right? So I'm excited about this year, but I see this as being, not just something for this year, something that you're building long term. What's the vision for what you can share with us, at least?
You know what? Honestly, I see the vision of the festival being as big as Essence Festival. You know,
Okay.
let's start on a smaller scale. Let's just take care of the East Coast for right now.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is, we talk about the entrepreneurs, people having business, to have a shopping network. Well, now if you're not able to buy the product at the festival, and you want to, or you want to buy some more later, then you'll be part of a shopping network. Let's connect with each other. We talk about the panels. The panels are resources. You got a fatherhood panel, you got a mental health for what, those that educate people. And of course, what we want to do. We always want to have a good time. We want to have a good time. Now you're talking about I gotta tell you, Jimmy, they one of my favorites is going to be the all white beach party. I mean, I have to put it out there. And then you're just talking about, you're talking about the Praise Fest. So all the entities that I talk about, the 8 dimensions of wellness, we're fulfilling that even during this time period. But I expect for this thing to continually grow, more collaborations, more sponsorship, and then, even where the festival is being held at the show hotel. And actually that's owned by the guy in Philly.
Yeah.
Black
Bert Blassie. Yeah.
And what happens is he has started redoing the rooms. You got the largest indoor water park, which will be open during the festival. You got an arcade on the first floor. So now we're talking about bringing families. A lot of times here on the East Coast, you got to go to Florida. You talk, about going to Jamaica. I told you this is history. We had a Black beach at one time. Let's bring all that history back where we don't have to travel far. We can go right there on the boardwalk, go right there on the beach, and have a good time. But it's always going to be about Black excellence.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing, because when I look at some of the things that are be a part of this experience over these 3 days, is it's so many small parts of like our culture overall. When you talk about the Praise Fest, when you talk about the film festival, I saw there's also like a hair show, right? So it's like,
how could I forget that, brother?
It's like a hair show. I'm like, these are all things. These are all like, subcultures within our overall culture. So it'll be amazing to have all this under like, one space, cultivated in one space. And I could tell thought was put into that.
Yeah, you know what? It was. And that's what bringing everybody together, bringing everybody on one accord. But it's always about the entrepreneurship. It's always about giving our people the tools, especially, as an entrepreneur, giving them the confidence to step out. And look, you know what? I got to do a plug, man. I told you, Jimmy, I don't even have it. But I thought I have it. But I even got new beer products called
Let's go. I can't wait to see those.
Matter of fact, when we get
hey, listen, man, I tell you, your beard. I see your beard out there. Yeah, you doing it right. So let's get it.
But it's all about empowering our people, man. That's one of the things. Oh, like I said, over these years, we can always go back to the history of it. But right now, we're not taking it anymore. Now's the opportunity to come there and bring your family. I really stress family, because this is an opportunity to really bring your family down there and have a good time. Some for the mom, something for the father. And of course, I got to tell you, even with the panels and what I'm creating, there's more once you get there. I'm really trying to create a space for fathers not to do nothing. Not to do nothing. Because what happens is, as fathers, or even as a male figure, you always accept the role as a provider.
Yes.
You're always doing something. There's always some kind of responsibility. But I want you to come down here, get some resources, have some fun, and I don't want you to do nothing. There's going to be a place for you to smoke cigars if you like to, smoke cigars. Like it's going to be an opportunity. I want fathers to come down there and just chill out.
Let me ask you this question: for those interested in coming, like if they have kids, is there a specific age range, or what does that look like for people that want to come as an entire family?
No, there's not. And actually, if it's not out, there will be a release because we have what we call BE Kids, Black Excellence Kids. So we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about those things that's going on in the arcade. Of course, we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to take that run. It's not a baby sitting service, but there
Yeah.
will be in that arcade. They have games from if they can walk, there's a game for them. But you
Gotcha.
know what? There's a game, a big Galaxia and Pac-Man game for somebody like me that played Pac-Man back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Enormous Pac-Man. There's a booth over there if you wanted them. If you play the video games, they got a booth in there that you can compete with other people. And then there's so many things for us to do to utilize all this space and just for us to come in, have a good time, feel safe, and then just operate in the Black excellence.
Yeah. So this man, I can't wait. I'm excited, man. So I'll make sure for those listening or watching that within the show notes or the description, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I'll put the link to check out the Black Excellence Festival. I'll put the website there so you can take a look at it. Doug, I just want to say thank you again for the opportunity to be a part of this. I'm looking forward to not just this year, but the future to see what you create and build. Because like I said, you're a master of creating these spaces for our people. And I think that's so important. And again, this is someone that I've seen his work out in the street. I've seen how he cares for our people. And, I want to say thank you, but also, man, like just congratulations on what you've done thus far, man, because, we were talking earlier about like just enjoying the process and the journey and, not always looking at the destination. So I want to say, congratulations on what you've already done.
Yeah, like I said, thank you for asking me, having me, and what you guys do. Actually, just it's close to my heart. So,
Yeah.
part of what I do is, we talk about generations and generations and generations after. So let's continue to build these generations. Let's continue to empower our people, and then let's continue, of course, and even in this process, and make sure we have a good time while doing it.
Absolutely. And we'll continue to build in the future. And for our audience out there, make sure you come out. Come check this out. This is cultivated by our brother Doug Reed, but it's just going to be very powerful. And when you go to the website, look at all the things that'll be taking place because there's something for everybody there. So with that being said, though, as we always tell our audience, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep. Game elevates. And we will see you guys in our next episode. Or as a matter of fact, we'll see you out at the Black Excellence Festival. So take care and then, enjoy your day, y'all. We love y'all. Peace.